listening to the Twin Theory Podcast,
Season 4, Episode 1. Everyone, welcome back. It has been a nice little hiatus that we have taking a nice little break, focusing on some personal things and some family things, and we just need a break. You know what I'm saying? We just need a little bit of a break. But we trying to come back nice and strong. We are into 2022, and it is starting to get warm outside. So I'm excited about that. If you aren't familiar and this is your first time tuning in, this is the Twin Theory Podcast. We are coming to you with some fresh, some new. The last season we we analyzed some twins and some interesting twins out there, okay? Some interesting twins with some interesting stories that we analyzed. And, we just kind of wanted to bring the conversation, a little bit back to us and some of our experiences. A lot of our viewers, is it viewers or listeners? Listeners, how about that? A lot of our listeners said they like when we talk about our twin experiences. So here we go. I like to talk about our twin experience. We have 100 bajillion gazillion of them. So with it being April, okay, it's the first day of April. So it's April Fool's Day. It is April Fool's Day, and I figure what better way to bring in April Fool's Day than to discuss this trickery that identical twins play on everyone, okay? Every identical twin has played a trick on somebody, okay? Their parents, their friends, their teachers, somebody. So I figure we'll start off with some of we'll spill some of our tea, some of our little insight and whatnot, and then maybe we'll talk about some other ones I heard, because I thought me and Marissa were kind of bad until I heard some other people's, and I was like, "Ooh, they're pretty bad."
Next level.
All right, they on the next level, like they amped up, they anteed up on that one. So did you want to start off, Marissa, with some stories, or you want me to go? Because I can go.
I have it's been a while, so it's been 10 plus years since we've actually played a trick, but I think the one that stands out the most to me was right after my freshman year of college, when I decided to knock out a couple of classes that summer in community college. So I was like, well, for summer break, I'm going to take 2 classes to knock out, some quick credits here before we're going back in at UAV, at the 4-year college I was at. So I had to sign up. It was supposed to be a basic 101 computer science class. So I feel like that class cost me like $700 for the summer. And for me at that time, $700 was a lot of money. Like I had been saving that up to take this class. Registered for the class, went in for the class, sat in the first class and was like, man, this doesn't quite seem like computer 101. It seems a bit more accelerated. And then the second class, I'm like, I'm not sure about this. So I talked to the instructor and they're like, oh no, like it's some sort of like C++, like Java level class. I'm like, that's not what y'all told me this was. But the downside was I only had until the end of the first class to drop it and get my money back. Otherwise I would drop, but they would keep my $700. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to need to continue through this class. So I decided I was going to take the first test and bombed it terribly because I didn't know that stuff. But Courtney was a computer and electrical engineering major. So my parents came up with the idea, actually, when I was talking to them about it, like, oh, I'm going to fail this class. And they were like, oh, wouldn't you consider your sister, just taking it for you? And I thought it was comical because out of all the tricks we've ever played, I don't think mom and dad have suggested any. But anyway, so Courtney did. She sat in the class for the remaining of that summer semester, took all the classes, took the test, and got me a B in there because I had flunked the first test so bad. All she could get me was a B, acing the rest of them. So that I think stands out the most.
Pause. First off, you got to let me give my side of the story.
When you give your side of the story.
All right, let me give my side of the story.
What's your side of the story?
So me giving my side of the story. So I had just finished my second year. Oh no, this is my freshman year. Freshman year, sophomore year. I can't
We had just
remember.
come off freshman year. It was
Okay,
summer
just
before sophomore year.
all right. This is just finishing freshman year, and I'm like, man, I just made it through the first year engineering program. I'm just trying to relax for the summer and everything. I ain't trying to be working no brain muscles or nothing like that. And then here come Marissa. And Marissa like, ooh, I think I signed up for the wrong computer class. Can you help me out? And so I looked at one of her tests that she took that she got like a 2.5 out of 100
No, it
on.
was like a 43. Give me more credit. I
Girl,
was
you
proud
ain't
of
get
that
no
43.
43 on that
It
daggone
was
test.
like a 43, and I was surprised because I was like, yo, I thought I was gonna get like a 0.
Anyway, she really bombed it. All right. Like the teacher was just showing mercy on her soul. And so she showed me the test, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is nobody's, computer science 101. This is how you use Excel class. Like, this is like a legit C++ programming class. So I was like, man, well, I can help you out, like I can try to tutor you a little bit. But what had happened was, like she said, that $700 was a lot of money. Ain't no little bit a lot. It was a lot of money at that point in time. $100 was a lot. So, my parents, I think this is the first time I can throw my parents in here. They was like, listen, man, that's a lot of money to let go down the drain. So you gonna have to take the class for her. It won't even that I volunteered to take the class for her, nothing like that. I was thrown out there on the side of the ship, and it was, you got to take the class for her. So I had to take the class for her, and I did the best that I could. But see, here's the part of it from my perspective. Now we got to go into the logistics behind everything so they can understand how this whole thing worked out. Okay. So me and Marissa showed up to the school a few hours before the class. She walked me down the hallway to the classroom and pointed in the classroom at what seat she sat in. So I knew specifically what seat she sat in. She sat right in front of the teacher's desk. Right in the middle, right in front of the teacher's desk. So it was all strategized and planned out. We had the logistics down. She gave me her student ID card and everything. And then really she just chilled for most of the summer. You know what I'm saying? And I was the one taking the class. And so I went to the rest of the classes and I sat up front. I twiddled my thumbs and I took the test and I got the 115s or whatever the highest grade was. And the teacher looked at me like I was crazy. Like, how the heck did you go from a 2.5 to a 115 in a week and a half? In advanced computer science, like, how in the world did this happen? And it got to the point that by the time we got to the third test now, the teacher was just hovering around me like a shark in the water, man. I mean, like, I'm sitting there like, come on, dude. Like, I think he was really thinking that I was cheating, or he was thinking that you was cheating, which you were cheating because I was there, but yeah. So I mean, it's like, he was just hovering over me. I could feel his breath and smell his cologne and everything, man. And I was like, he was just watching me write everything down. I'm like, man, homie, just, you want me to write the answers on the board or what? Like, what we doing? So anyway, I got through the class. We get to the end of the class. He gets the dean of the School of Technology to come to the class to talk to me after class. He done hyped me up. He like, oh my God, I got this student named Marissa and she majoring in psychology. And, I'm just trying to get her to pursue a STEM field and everything because she just picked up on this stuff real quick. And I'm like, just going with it like, God, I don't want to go to hell for this. But I'm just going with it like, okay, here we go. I'm taking one for the team. I'm just here because they told me I got to be here and they paying for my food. So I'm like, all right, let me do that. So that is how that went. I just needed to get into a little bit of logistics because you just glossed over all that real sweetness. Like, oh yeah, she took the class with me and I passed it and that was it. And we checked the box and we went on. Like, what? Nah.
Well, I didn't know your perspective because I never went in there. Like I had another class like after that one, a history one, and I took the history class, but I was like on a different side because I didn't want them to like see me or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I never knew what it was like in the class. So anyway, yes. I'm pretty sure I thanked you then, but again, how many ever years later this is now? Thank you again, Courtney, for taking my class. Because I was stressed about getting my $700 worth after saving up for so long. I appreciate you. Come to think of it, I'm like, I don't know if I've actually sat in for you in any capacity like that.
No,
Like
nope,
out of all
no, you
the
have
out
not.
of
Let
all of
me
my
answer that.
pranks, I feel like I ain't never come through for you at that magnitude. So we haven't like done a switcheroo in years, but I guess the next one is my turn to sit in for you.
Well, it can't be work related because that's like, that's like big federal time at that point. Like we can't be doing the work switch up, but
Oh no, we ain't
maybe we
getting
can
locked
find
up.
something. You know what I'm saying? Like one of these other scenarios where, some twins switch the driver's license, maybe we'll do something like that. If I get enough points on my license and I get pulled over and you in there, you giving me the license, baby.
Yeah, you would be the one to get enough points before me. Out of the two of us, you
Oh
probably
no,
closer
no.
than I am.
I'm not. I ain't got no points on my license. I'm a safe driver. All right, I'm a safe driver. Anyway, so that was a major switcheroo, and definitely being an adult, it kind of threw me off a little bit because it had been so long since we did it. It really actually took effort. When we were younger, it was like just well, whatever. You go to my English or my history class, and I'll go to your math and science class. Like it wasn't. It was regular every day. We had the same friends. We knew each other. We knew where we sat at, and couldn't nobody tell us apart. Okay, our parents struggled from time to time to tell us apart, so it was cool. But in our, adult age, we definitely could tell each other apart. So it's like, what am I doing? Like I
I'm
just
pretty
every
sure we
day,
were we were what, 19 then?
yeah.
I
Like
think we
we
were 19. Yeah.
Yes, yes, we were 19 then. We were good and
hmm
grown at that point, 19, and I'm sitting in the front of the classroom like, man, any moment now, like the campus police or somebody gonna roll up and be like, bruh, are you really Marissa? But nobody said nothing, so I was like, well, I guess we still look enough alike. But anyway, yeah, that was a good one. I remember when we got caught when we were in, was it elementary school? And I think that was the last time we had switched. We used to switch, and you went to my English and history class. I went to your math and science class, something like that. We switched, and Mama came to take one of us to. She came to take you to the dentist, and I was in your class, and so when they buzzed the teacher sent me to the front office, and I walked up to the front office looking crazy. And of course, mother could tell us apart. So when she saw me, and the lady at the front
Busted.
desk was like, "Oh, there goes that sweet Marissa," and I'm like, "Yeah." And mom looking at me like, mom just looked at me like she didn't even say nothing. She just looked at me, and I was like, "Man, I'ma die." Like we. Like I was like, boy, we gonna die later on. And she just turned at the lady and she was like, "Oh, actually, I want to get Courtney out of class too." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we really going down." Like, oh, it's really going down when we get out of here, man.
I don't think we ever formally got punished for that. I think mom was like amazed, but also like, wow, they did
Oh
that.
no, no,
I
no,
don't
no.
remember getting
Man,
punished.
you didn't get formally punished for that. I feel like I took
Okay,
all half
like I
all
don't
the
remember.
yeah, we got in the car, we went to the dentist, you went to your dentist appointment, and I was in the car getting the back. I got the back end of that one, sweetheart. Like,
Okay.
okay. And that's what happened
It
with that
seems like
one.
you getting the short end of the stick on our tricks, man.
I'm just saying, like, like I don't know. I told everybody when it comes to this twin thing, I got a scar on my forehead. We got to talk about that the next podcast about the friend situation. But yeah, I always get the short end of the stick on that one. Anyway, yeah, we used to switch all the time in elementary school, and that was the end of that when that happened. It was like, well, we won't do that again. And the next time it happened was college. That was legit. The next time it happened, it was not planned. We didn't really switch like that, probably because we was always together. I like outside of school, we were always together.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really think of any time we switched outside of like a classroom setting. Can you? I don't know if we ever did that.
I don't think we ever switched outside of a classroom setting. Yeah, I don't think we ever did that outside of classroom in college. And am I missing one? Like, no, I don't think we were bold enough to try to do it outside of a classroom. Now, let me be
Yeah.
honest. No. You weren't bold enough. Like, I was
What?
down for the cause at all at
But
all
I still
times.
can't think of any situation where we would have needed to, like outside of school.
No, I don't think there was any situation where I would ever like try to be you or you would try to be me. Like I played basketball, you were in track. They would have known if I was on the track trying to run cross country or anything. They would have known like, nah, that ain't wrist, that's court.
Hurdles, no.
Yeah, the hurdles and all that. Yeah, they would have known right away. Like, nah, Sway, that that ain't wrist. That is good in court. And the same thing. If they put you on that basketball court, they would have been like, yeah, no, that ain't court. That's wrist
Not
all day.
cool.
So yeah, I mean, it made sense. As we got older, it was just harder to switch because we just had two totally different interests. We had two totally different styles and stuff. You know, we didn't like dress the same and all of that. So it was a little different. But you know, I was reading a story about twins that and it happens to be something that they do often, especially guy twins that switch on a date. And I just think that's the weirdest thing in the world. That'd be like, oh, you know, can you go on a date with this chick? You know, like I've been talking to her, but can you go on a date? Like, why? Like, what makes you think that that's cool? Like, I don't know. That's so weird to me.
Like I feel like our personalities are so different. Maybe they would realize it was a different person, or maybe they would just be like, wow, I'm seeing another side of her today. Maybe she's sick or maybe she's off, depending on how early it is. Now, if we was like dating somebody and it's like year two, like I think they would be able to peep, yeah, this is the other twin, if they knew. Even though in my head, I've always thought like, if the person doesn't already know ahead of time that we're twins, I wouldn't want to tell them like that. I just, this is, I have
Because
a
we're
sister.
too different. I think that we're too different, and they would know off jump. Like, yeah, no, this ain't the same chick. Like they would know way in the beginning. Like, nah, this ain't court. Like, as soon as they go in the freezer and be like, we taking shots, and you like, huh? They'd be like, yeah, nah, this ain't.
Shut up.
Yeah, nah, this ain't. Riz, what you doing up this late? Like that, you ain't fooling nobody though. Like, yeah, nah, they don't. If it was anybody that could try to fit into the mold of the other, it would be me being you, right? Like it would be me trying to be you, because I feel like I could, I can play a good Marissa at times. You know what I'm saying? But for you
You
to
think
play a
so?
good Courtney, I would be shocked if you played a good Courtney. Like I would, you would really have to come out your skin for that one. Like I'd be like, whoa, where did that come from?
I would try.
Yeah, okay. I'm not saying you wouldn't try, but any- anyway, yeah, I know people that have done that with dating, and I think that it's weird. You know, I did that one time at work, with work. So I called out sick, and I wasn't sick. I just called out sick because I was like, oh, I need a mental health day or something like that. And I went to like the mall and whatnot. I wound up going out to the Annapolis Mall, and I ran into somebody from work at the mall. I guess they was picking up some food or picking up something during their lunch break, and I ran into somebody from work, and they was like, they just kind of looked at me real funny, and I was like, just act like I didn't know who the heck they were, even though I knew exactly who they were. I looked like I didn't know who they were. They was like, oh, are you Courtney's twin? And I'm like, yeah. Oh, I'm Marissa. You know Courtney? And they were like, yeah, I work with her. That's crazy. You look just like her. And I'm like, yeah, everybody say that. It was really me. It was really me. But
I think to me, that's the one of the funniest twin like comments. And no bash on anybody, because I know some of it is a shock initially when you see somebody's twin. But man, y'all look just alike. And if it's like, well, they're identical twins, so I mean they should look alike. But no bashing to anybody that might say that, because I know it's kind of almost reflex and it's a little bit of shock too. But it's always a hilarious response for me.
yeah, it is. It's interesting. It's like a natural response, like, oh my gosh, you guys look such alike. And it may be because, there's some twins that are identical that still, I'm like, oh, y'all identical word? That's interesting. Like, like, I would never know that y'all was identical. And then there's some twins that's identical that I'll be like, man, y'all look just alike. And I'm a
Hmm.
twin. And I know that they twins. I mean, they looking like, they sound alike, they got the same mannerisms, they got everything. So it's so funny, like when people ask us about that, like, are you like your sister? And I'm like, no,
Nope.
not really at all. we are like two totally
Define what you
different
mean
people.
by like my
Yeah,
sister.
like people who know both of us very well, they're like, nah, I know who's who. Like it's very, very
Very easy,
obvious.
right?
Yeah, it's very easy who's who. So yeah, I haven't really done that switching thing again. Like I said, I did it in my adult age, like for work. When I ran into that person, I was like, oh snap, like I can't say it's me. So like, oh yeah, I'm Marissa. Oh yeah, I'm twin. Yeah, and but I just don't. I don't know if we would ever be in a position where we could do that. For one, like I'm a little bigger than you are. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be like, I'm had somebody
Shut
had to
up.
lose weight, somebody had to eat some Twinkies to catch up, something one or the other. But we had to meet each other halfway. You eat a few Twinkies,
Josh.
I'm eating a few Twinkies. Like something's gonna have to happen in order for us to be able to, switch off. But because at this point it's like, well, come on, bro. Like we not,
I don't
we.
know about that. I think one of the biggest telltales are glasses versus no glasses. Because you always got a pair of glasses on, and I don't.
I mean, but I can wear my contacts. I got contacts. It ain't that serious. I can take these glasses off and put my contacts on. But yes, generally I do wear glasses, but that don't mean that you can't put no glasses on. There's people that wear non-prescription glasses all the time. So I mean, is it a telltale sign if we're right beside each other and one has glasses on and one doesn't? Usually, yeah, that means that, okay, Courtney's the one with the glasses on, but that don't have to mean that. It don't mean that we can't switch places either. But I just don't know how we would do it in our adult age, and I don't know. We would have to do it with a bunch of people that just don't know us, because everybody that knows us at this point, there's no such thing as fooling them. They're
Yeah,
like,
I
jokes on us.
I don't know. Maybe one of our listeners has an idea and a way in which we could throw a prank in our adulthood.
That's
I
that's
feel like the older we get, just the more difficult it is.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good segue too. For our listeners, definitely that's listening in. We've gotten a lot of feedback in the prior seasons and stuff, and definitely we want to hear your feedback. We want to hear your feedback. We want to hear your feedback. I want to hear some stories about some interesting things that you know of, some identical twins that play some tricks on you, or you are identical twin and you played a trick, or you've done something. We'll give you a shout out. Let us know what your story is. It's just always interesting to hear how creative the twins can get out there. So, definitely, 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 definitely. Thank you for tuning in. If you do have stories and stuff that you want to send to us, you can send it to twintheorypodcasters@gmail.com. twintheorypodcasters@gmail.com. You can always find us on IG at Twin Theory Podcast. You can find us on YouTube at Twin Theory Podcast. You can find us on any major podcasting platform at Twin Theory Podcast. Okay, you can Google Twin Theory Podcast, and I think we're the first ones to pop up. So Twin Theory Podcast, you can find us. Again, we trying to come back with some heat. We took a little siesta, you know what I'm saying? We just need to get a little break, a little rest and everything. And we,
Hmm.
we outside now. So, we are trying to get revived and rejuvenated and, welcome on this warm weather and everything. And so we hope you enjoy it. We hope y'all have a great April 1st, April Fool's Day. Don't hurt nobody's feelings out there now. Sometimes they be taking it overboard with the April Fools. Like the April
Right.
Fools where they be sending their parents like pregnancy pictures and stuff. That's too much,
All
man.
right, right.
Like,
Let's keep it classy, classy
like
April Fool.
we don't need all of that. Y'all keep it. Y'all be gentle out there, okay? Be gentle. So anyway, y'all take care. Y'all have a great, 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 great spring, and we will catch up with you next month. We holla at y'all later.